Hi everybody. So we're going to give you a chance today to make a crown that you can wear inspired by the artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. And one of the things you'll notice is that very often in his work he includes a crown. And his crown looks something like this, like the beginning of a rectangle. And then 1, 2, 3 zigzag lines. And now what you can do when you get started on yours is you can color it any way you want. You can color in your crown. You can leave it plain like this. You can make it all black, whatever you like. You can just add color. I'm going to add a little color there. I'm going to add a little more. I kind of like how it looks when it's all colored in like that. So I'm going to leave that there because I'm going to show you how to make a crown that you can wear on your head. And you can see I used some tape and I just used paper. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to go around the edges and make them dark. I just want them really to stand out like my outline I made. So I'm going to look for a black crayon and I'm just going to go along the edges and I'm going to make it black. You might want to put something underneath so that it doesn't get on your table. And notice how I'm using those little strokes to make sure that I color it dark. So I hold it down like a little claw there. One of his famous paintings includes the dinosaur wearing the crown. We might try that as well. Okay, I love how his lines seem so energetic. Okay, over, all the way around, black, black, black. And then that same line where I made the zigzag here, I'm going to make the zigzag right in the middle, zigzag, 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 all the way across till it finishes. And I might even want to go back and make those lines darker. Now, before I start cutting, I might want to add a little color to it. That's up to you. I kind of love the way it looks with just these bold, energetic lines of color. I'm going to add some color here. See how I just like the way it moves. Some here, color. And you don't have to use what I'm using. I'm using my oil pastels. I just found these beautiful ones that are fluorescent. And I'm trying to use a lot of energy in my line. I want it to look like my lines are just floating across the page. You can do it the way you like, but I'd love to see some energetic lines. Any way you want, any colors you want. I might even mix a little bit of yellow in here. Gonna get some yellow. This yellow looks kind of almost greenish. Energy, 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 energy. Get some of that energy out in your art with whatever kind of stuff you have. You might do it with painting, oil pastels, markers, but notice how I didn't worry about coloring in all the spots. Once that was done, I'm going to take my scissor and I'm going to cut along the zigzag line. Cut along the zigzag line. All the way across. Sometimes I like to move it. Cut. Cut. You should be practicing cutting. Sometimes people want to help us a lot, but it's really good to practice. It's so good for your hand. It'll be so good for your writing. So try it at least yourself before you ask someone to help. It's great practice, and we've had a little practice so far. So once I come all the way across like this, I have the beginning of a crown, but my head is not this tiny. So the reason I made 2 is so that I can put them together. And now because I drew on this side, I think I'll use my tape on this side. So you can use an old piece of paper. You see how I did? You can use stapler if it's easier, but you don't want to overlap it too much. You see how I'm going to overlap it a little bit to make it stronger? I'm going to put a piece of tape here, like this. And now when I open it up or I turn it over, I have my crown. You see how it starts to look? Now I notice over here I probably want to put a little more tape. Let's see if it sticks on top of the oil pastel. It might not. And then before I put it together like this, if I do this, that's probably too small for my head. So I'm going to ask somebody just to wrap it around my head until I get the right size. And when I have the right size, I think mine's going to need to be a little bit bigger. I have a big head. I'm going to tape it. So I'm going to tape it to the inside. like this, right here. And again, you can use whatever you have. You could use glue, but only a little bit. Don't use too much, and make sure you count. And there I have my fabulous crown. I'm gonna wear it to art class so you can see how I made it. So this one has a lot of color. And notice how it looks when you have that black outline around it. I just think it makes it stand out a little bit. And those energetic colors, you could add designs to it. Maybe some stars, some moons, some hearts, some flowers, whatever you want to your crown. And you can arrive to class like royalty. Thanks, enjoy.